Evening to you and a big dinky-doo from me, Scottie McClue. Welcome, I say, to our evening phone-in, and a little bit late in starting tonight, just due to one or two issues, but there we are. We're all sorted now, and we are with you big style. I hope you're enjoying all these wonderful phone-ins. Oops, we've got a connection problem now. Wait till we see if we can get that back. Oh, wonderful. Yes, I think we're all right. I think we're back in business. Do tell us. No, I don't know that we are. Right, there we are. Not to worry. Always something to do with the internet, isn't it? It becomes the more popular something becomes, of course, you're stretching the internet. That's part of it. You're live on Scottie's Phone In. Who's that? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Just a wee second there. Hello? Hello? Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Hello, yes.
It's me, myself, and I, the three white men.
Numpty Hood, how are you tonight?
Well, I thought I'm going to join the competition to see who can get in first.
And you got in first, my goodness
Absolutely.
me. Isn't that fabulous? We've got the lovely TikTokers are with us, but it's saying the broadcast is unstable.
Right, now I've been at the redial since 5 to 9.
You've been at the redial. Well, let's just see what's happening here. Let's find out why this might be unstable. There we go. I think I may have fixed it, Numpty Hood.
I think it's working news, Scottie, because you come on 3 minutes past 9. You were 3 minutes late.
Well, we're not late, just 3 minutes after when we thought we would be.
Aye.
McClue's never ever late. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's late joining you.
Yes, that's right. You were late joining me. I was here doing my stuff.
Absolutely. Now, Scottie,
you just couldn't hear me. What was that, my dear man?
I want to talk about God.
God, yes, absolutely.
Aye.
Somebody was asking me about God today, so fire away.
Now, he's forever in the court, I believe.
What's he in the court with?
Well, everybody, I promise to swear by the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Yes, I swear by Almighty God that I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
So he must be a very busy man in the court.
He's a very busy man in the court because he's trying to get the truth out of the tearaways.
There's another thing about Scottie, about God in the courts.
Yes, tell us more.
I've heard of people losing insurance claims because of acts of God.
An act of God. Have you never seen the Billy Connolly movie, The Man Who Sued God?
How far did he get?
Well, no, I don't think it got terribly far, but what happened was they reckoned, the insurance company said, I think it was his boat that got destroyed in a storm. And the insurance company said it was an act of God.
So God should have been sued for that.
Yes, it caused a big stushy with the church, though. It's a great movie.
Absolutely. Now then, I believe Martin and Kareem's fighting to get through second. So
oh, they'll be fighting to get through. But listen, I need to know how you think the phone-in's going.
Scottie, I'm speechless. I've got nothing to say but praise, because yesterday the phones never stopped for an hour.
They never stopped, Numpty Heed. It was quite something, actually. Quite something to behold. And I didn't tell you this, but the TikTok, sometimes we're joined by 2,000 or 3,000 on the TikTok.
Absolutely.
Now, with all the media that's around, these are what I call very respectable figures.
Well, there you are, Scottie. You're getting up there with the big guns now.
But we need people subscribing, tapping the bell on YouTube. We need people following. We've had over 800,000 have seen the TikTok lives, but we've only got 18,000 followers. Now, what does that say? Let's examine how they've made me feel.
Absolutely. Scottie, just before we go on, can I just say, we've got Jerry Nichols saying, oops, and D as well. D. Gourley says, evening all. Susan says, hi, Martin. And D. Gourley says, hi, Jerry. Isn't that wonderful?
I think it's fabulous. Hi, Jerry, Susan, Suan. I don't know who Suan is. And D says, Martin.
Kens,
isn't that wonderful?
Everybody kens, man.
Everybody kens you, Numpty Hood. You're a top man, actually. Oh, listen.
Right.
Talking of which, what did we think of Matey Boy's efforts last night?
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. Oh, it was brilliant. You know.
Right, absolutely. Motorbikes rock. Go on, go on.
It's a shame he didn't ken that tune that you hummed, because he normally hums a long way.
I normally hums along, or you could always take your shoes off and hum.
Well, I think that's what he had today, because he couldn't do it with his tongue.
Lovely talking to you, and Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo, and we will catch up soon, I say to you.
Right, Numpty.
Numpty Hood. Top man. Wonderful stuff. Right to the telephones as soon as you possibly can. Never a dull moment, I say. Here we go here. Hello, you're live on Scottie's phone in. Hello? No, well, maybe they'll try again, I say. Whose headdress is that? That's my headdress. Let's see. Who's this? You're live on Scottie's phone in.
Hello, Scottie boy. It's Martin.
Hello, Martin, son. How are you?
How you doing, my man?
Yeah. La, la, la. We had Numpty Hood on there tonight.
Yes, but I heard them saying somebody will be fighting to get on second between me and Kareem.
Yes, and you got on second.
Yes, correct.
Fantastic.
Okay, Scottie boy. Here's a question for you, mate.
Yeah, go on, mate.
Who's going to make the number one on Christmas number one this year?
Oh, I don't know. Who do you think it might be?
And the other thing is, what's your best Christmas song of all time? And that's your thing to the nation.
The best Christmas song of all time.
And what?
I think it might be We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
Nice.
Or what about White Christmas?
Yes, there's songs like
Bing Crosby.
There's songs like Merry Christmas Everyone. There's Silent Night. There's I Believe in Father Christmas.
Yes.
There's Ding Dong Merry High. There's bands. There's different things. Like,
one of my favourite carols is Once in Royal David's City.
Oh, I love that. I just love watching carols on YouTube.
What about, do you like carols from Kings?
Yes, I love all this music. I love all Christmas music. It's nice.
Lovely. Yes. What about Adeste Fidelis?
Yes.
That's
I like that too.
Oh, come all ye faithful.
Oh, I love that. Do you like Hark the Herald Angels Sing?
Hark the Herald Angels Sing's a beauty. I think that used to be number 46 in the hymn book.
And I like Old Town of Bethlehem.
Oh, Little Town of Bethlehem. Which tune?
Do
you like da-ree dee 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 dee?
Yes, yes.
What about da-ra-ra dee 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 da-ree dee 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 dee?
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
That's a nice one, isn't it?
Yes, buddy. Another song, let's see.
Evening, Scottie. I hope you have a great day, mate. There's James Bacon on. Yes. Everybody's discussing the Glengarry, and they're saying the connection's not good in TikTok. How's the TikTok connection? Good evening from Invocate. Remembrance Day today, says DJ.
So, today's a Remembrance Day as well. From
Remembrance Day. And what was that marking, Martin?
I was respecting all the folk who passed away and all the...
Yes, but why 11 o'clock on the 11th month?
And New York City got the Twin Towers as well.
Twin Towers as well, but the 11th hour of the 11th month, 1918, the armistice, as it was called. So the surrender, the peace was signed at 11 o'clock on the 11th day. Isn't that lovely?
Yes, it's really.
And that was the end of the First World War in 1918, signed in a railway carriage.
Yes. While I'm on as well speaking to you, Mrs. Mac from Take the High Road passed away.
Gwyneth, yes, and she was lovely. I can remember when I worked at STV, everyone used to say, Gwyneth's lovely.
Oh, she's amazing.
So bless her. She was a wonderful actress. I loved the character as well.
I know, but I loved her playing in Take the High Road. All the shows are amazing.
Yes, 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 wonderful stuff. I still watch them. You can get them on STV Player.
And you can get them on YouTube as well.
Yes.
YouTube's got them as
Oh,
well.
have they? And you can get a catch up.
Yes, a lot. Aye.
So there we are. Lovely to see you. Oh, by the way, I accepted you on Facebook.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Yes, and I accepted your good lady as well.
Thank you. So that is our picture. All of them both. So
I think you look absolutely great, the pair of you.
So anytime you want to meet up, anytime, let us know. Anytime you want to meet up, and like when things go back better, you can meet up for a wee pint or something.
You're very kind. Well, of course, as you know, I don't take a wee pint because I don't drink alcohol.
I know, but we can have some other refreshments.
We could have a glass of Scottish water.
Yes, that'd be nice, lovely.
Oh, that's beautiful. I've just had a sip there. You take care, Martin, and Dinky-Doo, la.
Dinky-Doo, love you.
Love you lots, Dinky-Doo. There we are, alcohol-free beer. Oh, yes, I think I remember that. I don't think it was terribly much fun, actually, but there we are. Wonderful stuff. You have to be the most knowledgeable person I know. I could listen to your stories again and again. James Bacon, you're very, very kind. That's all I can say. Who is this? You're live in Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hey, Scotty, how you doing?
Hey, Glenn, are you Dinky-Doo, la?
I'm Dinky-Doo, yeah. Kirsty McCall, Scotty, and the Pogues.
The Pogues. I was thinking about that one, you know.
Yeah, classic. Rick Astley.
Yeah, I think, yeah, these are the best, really, aren't they?
The Wizard.
Yeah, White Christmas, of course.
Bing Crosby and David Bowie.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. Now you're talking. What about Cliff, Mistletoe and Wine?
Fantastic songs.
What about Pinky and Perky? I Saw Mummy Kissing Santa Claus.
Mulligan Tire.
Yeah. Have you heard that one, Pinky and Perky?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, that's an absolute cracker. I Saw Mummy Kissing Santa Claus.
Mel and Kim.
Yep, absolutely.
I think they'll be thinking they've only got 14 days till December, Scotty, won't they? They'll be thinking, is it 19 days, sorry?
Well, no, are we too easy? No, it's not, is it? Oh, my goodness me, I think it is, actually.
Till December.
Yeah, and then it'll be December. Oh, my goodness, yeah. Glenn. Oh, we're rushing on here, aren't we?
And then I think they forecast the White Christmas anyway, Scotty, aren't
they? They've what, La?
They predicted it's going to be a snowy Christmas, I reckon.
I wouldn't be surprised, yes. They're pretty clever with all these predictions, you know.
I reckon the Met Office will be on fire, thinking something's going to go off, I reckon.
Are we losing you, love? Are you talking into your beard?
What was your favourite weather forecaster, Scott?
Oh, I love my weather forecasters. I loved Michael Fish.
Yeah, definitely.
And Ian McCaskill was a great one.
Bill Giles.
Yeah, Bill Giles. Loved Bill. Yeah. Yes, fantastic. And Wincy Willis.
Suzanne Lloyd.
Yeah, Wincy Willis and Suzanne Lloyd. And there's some pretty good ones on at the moment as well.
Definitely. I think it's more digital. It's more digitally advanced now, Scotty, isn't it? The weather.
Well, this is it. I might do a bit myself.
Yeah.
We've got a great guy in Scotland called Sean Batty, and he does the weather on STV.
Good presentation there.
Very, very, very good. Yes, in fact, he's an all-round talent. He did a Hogmanay show.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, with all the 40s and all the weather, all the snow and all the rain.
Well, I'll tell you what I like, Glenn. I like some of the lines on it. So you sort of look and you're talking a kind of, let's see if I can do you a weather voice.
Yeah.
Moving on to Friday, of course, and quite heavy rain, the odd rumble or two of thunder, so keep the brolly handy.
Brilliant.
Do you like that?
Do you remember this morning when you used to walk across the
Oh, yeah, the guy used to jump across the floating map.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that as well. Yeah, the Albert Dock.
On Richard and Judy's show, yeah.
Yeah, Richard Judy. I think that came from Granada and Liverpool.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, they're always looking for some sort of way to kind of tell the story. Do you know what I mean? I quite like just the weather map. I used to do it. In fact, I think you'll hear me do the weather on a TikTok video.
Yeah.
And we do it over a map, just a voiceover.
Brilliant.
So it goes like this, something like, I look at the weather for the weekend now.
You've got that voice, definitely.
I look at the weather for the weekend now. I'll tell you what I was thinking today. I'd love to do maybe a week reading the news on the BBC, on BBC Radio.
Yeah.
And I'd like to do a week for ITV reading the news to see if I've still got the television techniques.
Yeah, brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? Pop up. I might have to take the whisker off. I don't know.
Are you growing that for Christmas then, Scott?
Well, I was wondering about that. I was wondering tonight if it's due for one of my thinnings, you know.
You know, strangest thing about it though, you go to sleep, next thing you know, it's back in there. So how many times you trim it down?
Oh yeah, they come back quick. Have you got one, Glenn?
It comes on you because I'm dark complexion, Scott.
It's what now?
You know, because I've got a dark complexion because I'm dark haired and that.
Right. So you get the 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, definitely. I think it makes us more distinguished as men, doesn't it, Scott?
Oh yes, it's very good. But we've got what people call lockdown growth.
Definitely, yeah.
There's a nice one. J.D. Donnelly, John Kitley, the weatherman. There's another cracker. Michael Fish.
Scotty, another thing. International this week, Scotty, for World Cup.
Oh, the World Cup. Yeah, I don't. As you know, I'm not a great football man. You know. Very interesting.
You guys have got an important game against Moldova tomorrow.
Moldova.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll have a look at that. And of course, we've had a bit of news today that Kareem wanted to talk about last night. And poor Kareem, I must apologize, but I didn't have all the facts. So I didn't want to get anything wrong.
You don't want to say anything to wasted them until they come
Well,
out.
you don't really. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's fine. If you've got all the facts in front of you, that's fine. But I didn't have all the facts, but Kareem probably did.
You wait for all these main correspondents to come out then.
Well, this is it. The pundits, as they cry them.
Yeah.
The pundits. Glenn, I better dash la.
We've got Albania as well tomorrow.
Albania, isn't it fantastic? You never used to hear of these countries, you know, in football.
Then it's San Marino on Monday, Scotty.
Yeah, you never used to hear of any of that, Glenn.
Scotty, a lot of these teams just play just for fun, don't they? You know, these smaller nations.
Yes.
I hope you qualify anyway, Scotty, so we can have some old rivalries, England and Scotland.
We can have a little bit of banter, la. You take great care of you and Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo, Scotty.
Nice one, la. There we are. That's our Glenn. He's popped off. So there we go. Fantastic. Now, hi, says Crumble. Hi, Crumble, Dinky-Doo. Welcome. If you joined us on TikTok, there was a problem with the TikTok. Do you want me to stop and restart? I ask you. Shall I do that, guys? I'll stop and restart. But what you must do is then start scrolling like crazy so we can catch up again. Would that be the best plan? Let me know what's what. You're live on Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
Hi, Scotty. It's Kareem. How are you?
Kareem, how are you? I don't know if you heard the end of Glenn's call there, but I was just saying I was sorry to have to shush you last night on the football because I knew you knew what you were talking about. But if I don't have all the facts, I don't like to get it wrong. If somebody said, you know, I mean, say for instance, I mean, you wouldn't do this, but somebody said such and such is happening, so and so is moving. Somebody said, oh no, that's all changed. You shouldn't have said that. They're not. They're doing this, so they're doing that. You see. So can you see where I was coming from?
No, it was fine. Well, I have to be very delicate what I'm going to say next because there's a hidden meaning to this. And I say this with great seriousness.
Yes.
And basically, and you'll pick this up straight away, Scotty. And from a lot of people that I know that are very good sources, London Bridge is closed, and there is increased police presence at Balmoral, and I'm going to say no more on the matter.
Right, well, there we are. Excellent stuff. We shall see what is what. No more on the matter, nothing more required, and we'll see what's what.
Yes. On that, my second point is that today in work we were talking, and I said, I'll ask Scottie McClue, because he'll know the answer to this.
Yes.
We live in Glasgow, but when we go outside of Glasgow, where does the word Ken come from? How did it originate?
Oh, well, that's more, well, it's kind of broad Scots, braid Scots, Kareem, but it's more, it's said a lot in the East Coast. So if you're on the phone, like Numpty Heed there, you know, if I was telling Numpty Heed something, so say you were on the phone to one of your pals, on the phone to Scottie McClue, and then I'm telling you something, and you're on the phone and you're going, yeah. Oh, I know, absolutely. No, I know what you mean, Scottie. And the other thing, Kareem, I know, you're quite right. No, I know. So in the East Coast, it would just be Ken. So they ken. So to ken is to know. Right? So you used to have a Scottish thing like Kareem. He's all right, because I used to ken his feather.
Aye. Right, okay.
You see, I Kent that they use a past as well called Kent. I Kent his feather as well, you know. So in other words, I know who they are. The Scots are terribly nosy people, and if you apply for a job in Scotland, everybody starts wanting to know who you are. You see, so it's all that. So somebody says, we've got somebody called Kareem is coming. Kareem. Where do I know that name from? Wonder if that's the guy that phones Scottie McClue. Now wait a minute. Let's see if we can look him up. So nowadays you can look people up. You see, and you say, oh, I such and such, because they'll come up on Facebook or something. You know, somebody will say he's a mechanic at McWhackle's garage. You see, that sort of thing. You say, that's where he works. You know, that sort of idea. So you get all that kind of nonsense. And somebody motorbikes is going, ken what you mean. But it's made fun of as well. But to ken is to know something. Like I was saying, I think the dog knew that your father had a refreshment. Oh, the dog kens. The dog knows. So it's quite a nice word. And another one that you might like. So in Fife and in Edinburgh, there's a lot of ken. You know, ken. And so you're talking to somebody, and every so often they'll just put in ken. So you'll say, yeah, but she was a nice lady, and the old mother was lovely as well, ken. You know, because so what they're saying is, I remember the mother. Yes. And another nice one is to go Ben. Have you had that one?
To go Ben?
No,
I've never heard that.
Right. Well, what happens is you might call at my house and I might say to somebody, listen, take Kareem Ben. Now, what that means is Ben the hoose through the house, probably to the sitting room. You see? And then you had a room and an end for the animals in the old Scottish Highland Black House, hence the name Butt and Ben. So the butt was just a wall where the animals were, and the Ben was the room where the humans were, where they ate and slept and sat and socialized. So you had the beasts looking over this stall when you were sitting. There was no television, watching the peat fire burn. You know, and you had the Butt and Ben. Not a terribly healthy way of living, which is why a lot of them got disease and died. Because you were living with the animals, so there was quite a lot of animal dung round the floors and things, you know. And you cooked on the fire, and there wouldn't be running water, so you weren't going to be washing your hands before you prepared the potatoes, you know.
goodness. So I've certainly got a few things to tell the staff about that. So the Ken.
So Ken is to know. So when they're saying something to you, sit and nod and go, Ken, hi, Ken.
Aye, Ken,
And they'll
Ken.
go, are you from the East Coast, Kareem? I thought you were a Glasgow man. Ken, no, Ken. So it's that. And then, do you know? So it moved into Cumberland and Northumberland. So the old song, do you know John Peel? Yes, the Huntsman.
Right.
Do you ken John Peel?
Right.
Yes.
How do you think it's never really took off in Glasgow?
Because I think Scotland is not divided north and south. It's divided east and west. In fact, the whole country is. So you'll see far more empathy with Aberdeen, Edinburgh, Newcastle, you know.
Dundonians.
Yes, the Dundonians ken, he ken that and that. So the Dundonians are big in Ken.
Yeah.
You know? So they might say, aim sterving, aim a frappe, and they say, I Ken. No, what you mean? I'll maybe have one myself, you know? So it's also a great economy of language. It's very, very expressive. You know? And you might also say, I was telling my sister about that, but she kens them all, you know?
Right. Oh,
isn't that nice?
I think it's nice.
Yes, and there are these Scottish words, and also do not or don't in the East Coast is dinny. Dinny. So somebody might go up and give you a shove, and instead of say, don't do that. It's not smart. Yeah. You know, you go, dinny. Dinny, or you'll ken all about it.
One thing that I've
so that's saying don't do that, or you will know all about it.
When you've worked outside of Glasgow,
yes.
Scottie, I don't know if you've noticed, I've certainly, when I've worked outside of Glasgow and different councils, I find when you're dealing with the people, and especially like teenagers and that as well, they don't have that quick Glasgow banter or wit that you get here.
No.
I find that it's unique. You just do not get that at
all.
Well,
you'll maybe say to a young person, oi, stop shouting at him. And they'll go, well, no wonder.
Yeah.
You know, no wonder, because the other person's been shouting at them.
Yeah.
Now, there's motorbikes saying, dinny fash. Now, there's another one. So, fash is to worry or get concerned or fuss.
Right, okay.
So, you'd say to somebody, don't make a fuss. Dinny fash. You say, come on, we've got to go now. It's nearly 2 o'clock. Well, I can't, dinny fash. You know.
So you say your TikToker viewers won't have a clue what we're speaking about.
Not a clue, but it doesn't matter, you see. Gaelic is separated east and west as well, says Fat Spoon PH.
Right.
So there must be changes in the Gaeltacht if you move to the east or the west.
Right.
And then you've got the Doric in Aberdeen.
Right.
So how are you doing is Foo's your do's. Foo's your do's. You know, and you wouldn't have a crowd of folk, you'd have a good cairn, like Kernel, a heart of people, a gathering. Either a good cairn of folk in here, Right. So you've got a gathering, and then you've got, and again, Aberdeen big on Ken.
Yeah.
So there's that as well. Again, in Dundee, it's a Ken. I know.
Yeah.
So you've got that. Doric, northeast, Lowlands is lowlands like Edinburgh. But dinna fash, that's a good one. And you see other lovely ones like dust is oos.
Right.
Oh, I was round that house one day, and the oos. You know, and you wouldn't give it a dust, you would give it a dicht.
Right.
I give that a bit of a dicht in case anybody comes in. Look at the oos there.
Right.
And then you can have worse than that. You might beat the carpet and it's full of dust, and you start to go, oh, stop that, I'm getting all the stewer. You see, and people know exactly what that means.
Wow.
Didn't he start all that stew coming into the house? I've just cleaned it. Oh, my flare, I cleaned that. You've got your bits on.
I know none of these expressions. Do you think these expressions are dying with society?
Well, they will a bit, because where they originated has died out, but they're fortunately, I would say, passed on by word of mouth from parent to child. So you will find that if you're teaching in a school, very often the children have dual language. So they have a language, they'll say to you, they'll say, sir, may I go to the office? Right? But then they'll shout their pal, come here, you so-and-so, I'm going to wallop you. You see, it's all that sort of idea. So you've got dual, but then if you're in the East Coast, they've got a triple language.
Right.
You know, and they're not dying. What we need to do is get rid of the swear words and replace them with old Scots words. Yes, gid Scots fair, as in F-A-Y-R-E, gid fair. So you might come round my house you'll come on Hogmanay, which would be Old Year's Nicht. Old Year's Nicht. Nicht. Aye, well, for to do, Kareem, come up Old Year's Nicht, about 10 o'clock, and we'll hear a drum and a blather, and then folk will start to arrive, and then we'll get for the bells, and then we'll be into Nerdy, New Year's Day.
A dram is a drink.
A dram, a small drink, a measurement of whiskey. But it's quite loose, you know. You can have a different size. You could get a dram in a pub, or you could get a dram in someone's house that would just about knock you out. So there's several aspects of the Scots language, and if you go to Berwick-on-Tweed, and you said to somebody, as a linguist did many years ago, and you go to the English side and you say, excuse me, what's this little paper bag called? And they'll say, a bag, you know, and then you go to the other side, you say, what's this little paper bag called? Just across the Tweed, and they'll go, a wee poke, you know, and then you say, what are these that go in the wee poke? And they'll go, sweets. You go across again to the Scottish side, sweeties.
A poke of sweeties.
And a wee poke of sweeties. I got up and got a wee poke of sweeties off my granny.
Right. Do you know, that makes it, years ago, I forgot her name. Goodness, she was a very famous Scottish comedian. Oh, I've forgotten her name.
Who would that be? Elaine C. Smith?
No, she'll be older.
Dorothy Paul?
It might be Dorothy Paul. Is it blonde hair?
Yes, fantastic lady.
Yes, Dorothy Paul.
She's been about for years, but always looks the same.
Yes.
She always looks about 30.
A poke of chips.
A wee poke.
Always thought, what is a poke of chips?
A poke of chips. You get a poke of chips. Or sometimes if you go down the West Coast, they might serve you a cone of chips.
A cone of chips.
So you've got a wee round cone. And then an ice cream in the West Coast, you see, a cone would be a pokey hat.
Right.
And because Mr. Hokey Pokey, the ice cream man, and the wafer, because the ice cream goes into a metal slide, you'd put the wafer in, put the ice cream in, and slide it out. It's known as a slider.
A slider, right.
Right, Kareem, what are you haying for the ice cream shop, eh? You want a pokey hat? Well, no, get us a slider. You see, so you have all these names. But it's a beautiful language, and people that go around saying, "Oh, speak properly" and stop all that, you know, it's not right. So I think we should have all these things. The biggest killer to the Scots dialect is mainstream English-speaking media. So Fat Spoon, Scottie McClue might set up a new media company, and we'll have the news in Doric. So instead of saying good afternoon, everyone, it's fit like Abdi.
Did they not do that in a programme? Was it Tune the Fat, where they used to do like a news broadcast, but it was like in Scottish line, but it was like
Well, Gregor Fisher, the actor that used to play Rabsy Nisbet, he did a wonderful Hebridean broadcast.
Right.
Hello from the islands here now. You know, it's great. Now you see, that's different again. The very best English in the world is spoken in Inverness.
Oh, right, okay.
Because they pronounce absolutely everything, Kareem.
Yes.
Everything's pronounced beautifully in Inverness.
Yes. I was there this summer. I remember her accent very well.
Now, here is somebody from Whitney. Hello again from Brian in Whitney in Oxfordshire. Oxon, he puts. Oxon. Now, you see, not everybody would know that's Oxfordshire. Yes, because if you've got a degree from Oxford, you could have an MA Oxon. Yes, so the old Latin name for Oxford is Oxon. And if you were getting a degree from Cambridge University, you could have an MA Cantab. And you would think that's Canterbury, but it's Cambridge. So the Bishop of Cambridge would sign Cantab. The Archbishop of Canterbury would sign Cantuar. Cantuar, Cantuar, Cantuar. So right now you would get the Archbishop sign. It's Justin, isn't it? That's the Archbishop right now. So he would sign Justin Cantuar. The Bishop of Durham would sign Dunelm. So you'll see with your colleagues, if somebody's got a degree from Durham University, then it'll say they've got an MA Dunelm.
So what would that be up here? Because I've got...
Well, Glasgow is Glasgowenus.
Right.
So you could have a BA Glasg.
Right, okay.
Or an MA Glasg.
Right. I just thought it'd be like the BSc and then whatever after that. Or
No, you could be BSc brackets Glasg if you were using your official title. Yes.
Okay.
Now, Brian from Whitney and Oxon says, we can speak Oxfordshire speak. Most people wouldn't understand. Now, Brian's talking about an old English accent that's sort of a bit like that. I'm from Oxford, and that's the way I speak, and that sort of thing. And then also you can move a little bit further and get broad Berkshire. Oh, I don't know, it's on a reindeer in Berkshire. Say, what did you just say there? Sorry, I missed you. So not everybody from Berkshire gives it, oh, hello. You see?
Do you not think it's amazing, Scotty, that an island or four nations that are close together have such variety on their doorstep?
Huge diversity, because think about it, Kareem. The first people in here, after all your Picts and your Scots and your Angles and all that, were your Romans. So you've got an Italian continental influence right away. So most of our words are based on Latin.
Right, okay.
You see? And as I say, the word video, which we use all the time, is just video, I see, from vide to see. Mensa, just means the table in Latin. And the Organization for Intelligence Quotient, IQ, Mensa, sit round the table.
Goodness, it all links together, doesn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic. All these wonderful expressions. Most of our expressions also are based on maritime expressions. So scraping the bottom of the barrel there, old boy, means you're getting the very last of the fresh food out of the bottom of the barrel.
It's fantastic. It's interesting. And I like what you said, Scottie, about we should be going over the old Scottish words again. Maybe that's something I should bring up in work.
Yes.
To raise that, because it's so important not to lose that.
Well, no, it is important not to lose it. I don't think we will, but you see, a lot of Glasgow speak is based either on Highland language or on Irish language.
Right. Okay.
And you see, so many people at the famine in Ireland in 1841, they flocked all over the world. I mean, I once, a student handed me an essay that said in 1841, people took flights to America.
Right.
And I thought, flights to America in 1841? I don't think so. And what they were quoting was the people took flight. So they flew from where they were. They got on boats and came across, well, went to Canada, America, anywhere. But a lot of them came to Glasgow. And the reason things like Paddy's Market started was they had nothing except the shirt on their back. And quite often they would sell their shirt to feed the children.
Yeah.
So that's where you get the expression, he'd give you the shirt off his back.
And that Paddy's Market was up in the town, where was it, near Trongate?
Yes, all round there, because that's your, look at your old names, the Tron Gate, the Salt Market, where you would get salt for the fish.
Yeah.
Yes. And what else have you got? The Gallow Gate, where they would take people to hang them facing the monument at Glasgow Green.
Yeah. The clock there is where they used to hang a lot of prisoners, etc. But I got told that never used to be there. They moved that years later, like brick from brick.
What, the Tron Gate?
Yes.
The Tron. Well, you've got the Tron, and then you've also got the oh, that's terrible. The big tall one just at the bottom there, the tall booth, the big tall one. Listen to me. You know. And people used to gather at the tall booth for New Year. And when STV opened in 1957, they would go and film the Hogmanay at the tall booth. Yes? Where your hosts were people like Larry Marshall and from the 1 O'Clock Gang, and Jack House, the journalist who wrote wonderful books on Glasgow. If you ever get a chance to read a book about Glasgow by Jack House, then try and find that one.
Right, okay. Jack House.
Jack's long gone now, but you used to see him about. He was an absolute character.
Right, okay.
And you see, the other thing, Kareem, is you knew all the journalists were famous because newspapers were big business. And if you wrote for one of the big newspapers, you used to buy that paper for the writer. So you would buy the Herald because Hugh Cochrane was writing for it. You would buy the Citizen because George Ritchie had written a column, you know?
Yeah. You want to know what they're saying.
Yeah, you want to say, oh, brilliant, look at this. Always buy it, always buy that one. Jack McLean, another great journalist. People bought for James Meek. They were all fabulous journalists. Murray Ritchie.
Right. Who was the author again? John House, did you say?
Jack House. So Jack House, and you'll get books on Glasgow. And the stories are just fabulous.
Yeah, excellent. I'll have a look at a certain website that sells lots of books.
You know, so I mean, Kareem, never a dull moment. I say we'd better go, or we'll be getting the sack, you and I.
Yes, well, listen, thank you for taking my call tonight, and DINKY-DOO.
A privilege. DINKY-DOO, Kareem. All the very best, la. Night. There we are. That's our Kareem. What an amazing guy. Fantastic. Now, we've got everybody on here. Hi, everybody. Good evening to you. Scottie McClue says, Angela. D. Gourley, I'm good. I was a bit under the weather. Back to normal. Thanks, Susan. There we are. Fairy Tale in New York, says Phil. Good to hear, Susan. Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Susan. Just heading back. Hi, Prof. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hi, Scottie. How you doing?
Hey, Glenn. DINKY-DOO, la.
Scottie, you know your Glen Garriott? What does the silver badge symbolize?
Well, that's my own clan badge.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and it's a man of laws.
Brilliant.
Yes, and the hand of justice is what you're seeing.
What about the red and white checkered?
The red and white
badge?
checkered is to do with the thin red line in battle.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes, so these were worn by the Argylls and by the Black Watch. And I'm thinking who else wore the Glengarry. The stacks of the Scottish regiments actually wore Glengarries.
How many different symbols have you got then on the Glengarry then?
But they're not all checkered. Well, you'd have a different badge. So that badge would have been Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders.
So there's a lot in history then, obviously.
Oh, huge history. Or you could have another, you could have the Camerons, the Queen's Own Cameron Highlanders, but you wouldn't have had the red and white check.
Yeah.
You see, you wouldn't have had that. You could have the, because my father was a Cameron, you could have the Sea Force, the Gordon Highlanders, the King's Own Scottish Borderers, the Royal Scots from Edinburgh. And there was a lot of rivalry. The Argylls from Stirling and the West Coast. You had other regiments like the Scottish Horse, my grandfather was in. The Black Watch, which were introduced as Highland policemen after Culloden.
Nice one.
So it's very interesting, the whole lot.
It goes back it goes back a long way.
Oh, long way. Well, you see, think about the name, Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders. So there were a mixture of a regiment from Argyll and then a regiment from the 93rd from Sutherland.
Nice one.
Which is away up in the northeast.
Do you like a lot of people asking about history and that, Scotty?
Oh, I like people asking about anything, Glenn, as you probably gathered. I mean, Kareem and I were bantering away about language there, you know.
You know, to be inquisitive on different cultures and know different...
Everything. I'm soaking up knowledge soaking up knowledge from you.
Yeah. Well, I've been looking at the terms, you know, on like, okay, the new Jimmy lad and all that. Is that some sort of derogatory thing from...
Well, no, it's people say it because they don't quite get it, so they think that Scotland, like I had to pull Alex Belfield up for calling Scotland Nicky-Nacky-Noo land.
Oh, yeah.
And he's an Englishman, you see.
Yeah, have you had one or two chats and one or two confrontations?
Well, I had to phone him up and tell him straight, and he was effing and jeffing at me. But I don't care. I said, never mind all that. You need to listen.
Shut your ears. Shut your mouth and open your ears.
That's right. Open your ears up, big style, lad.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, you don't talk about countries like that.
Is it good banter then from both sides?
Well, I think you could probably hear the call.
A decent bit of banter.
I think the call's up on either TikTok or YouTube.
I think banter's good as long as it's kept.
Yes, you see, where people from England struggle is to say the CH in Loch. So they say Loch. So if I said to you, can you say Loch Lomond?
Loch Lomond.
Loch Lomond. So you'd say L-O-C-K, it sounds like.
Well, I know how it's spelled anyway.
Of course you do. Of course you do. But you see, the other thing is, London people aren't particularly knowledgeable in general about the rest of the country. And the main reason for that is because they don't really need to go outside London.
Precisely. They've got everything in front of them.
Everything's there.
Everything's just laid down for them, isn't it?
Sorted out for them. There's Professor Numpty Head.
I think if they steps out of the comfort zone, I think they appreciate the whole of the nation a lot better.
Well, I think you've got to take people out of the comfort zone to know what something's about.
It's like you were just saying to Kareem, though, about we've got 4 nations within the United Kingdom.
Yes. Well, we need to start acknowledging that. And our politicians need to stop saying, on behalf of this country. It's on behalf of our countries.
We're not united in a...
No, we're not united, and we never have been, because Parliament, Westminster, is not inclusive of all the countries.
Yeah, there's a big barrier in there.
You know, and you know, they need to... I watched the Scottish gentleman being mocked by a well-known Tory the other day, being mocked about the Battle of Flodden.
Yeah.
Now you need to stop mocking other countries. It's not funny and it's unacceptable. Because that gentleman could have said, now today is the anniversary of the Battle of Stirling Bridge, which I think the honourable gentleman will agree it didn't go so well for his mob.
I remember the photo. What you were, was it with Prince Charles, Scotty, when you went to dinner or something? Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant photo.
You've seen that one. You'll see it on the Scottie McClue website under footies.
Fantastic, yeah.
It's all there.
Is it? Did you have a good chinwag with you then? And that?
Well, we're not going. You don't sort of say these things, you know. What I was going to tell you, respect all the armed forces, says Tony. My favourite hymn is Away in a Manger, says Numpty Heat. And Angela says, Once in Royal David City. What's your favourite Christmas hymn?
Off the top of my head, I'd say Away in a Manger, Sky.
It's a cracker, isn't it?
Brilliant,
I'll tell you a beauty I heard played in Sheffield outside a well-known superstore, and brass band were there, and it was Christians Awake, Salute the Happy Mon. Da re da dee da re dee 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 dee. Lovely. And the band actually made a bit of a pig's ear of it at first, and the conductor said, right, we're not doing that because you don't know notes.
God rest thee, merry gentlemen, Scott.
God rest thee, yes, God rest thee, merry gentlemen.
Brilliant.
Yes, absolutely, lovely stuff, isn't it?
I mean, you can revamp all these hymns and that, you know, like they put songs to things and melodies and things. But
well, they're very well-known songs. I mean, another great one is Clementine, but it's actually Cum Ronda, isn't it? You know, so the great Welsh hymn Cum Ronda. The what's that, dear boy?
Bread of heaven.
Bread of heaven, yes. I will ever give to thee.
I mean, you've got a certain food outlet, a certain retail outlet, what does Christmas hymns on ITV, aren't you? Christmas tunes, you know, for the adverts.
Well, my old boss...
You know the one, don't you?
I know exactly the one.
Yeah.
My old boss used to get a laugh because he worked out in Africa, and they had a pub called the Crystal Fountain. And he couldn't understand why the choristers all smiled when they were singing, Open now the crystal fountain, whence the healing stream doth flow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, now I'm hearing the angels sing and all that, yeah.
Hark, the herald angels sing, isn't it wonderful?
Yes.
I used to wonder, there was a wonderful little car called the Triumph Herald when I was little.
Okay, yeah.
And I used to wonder what the Triumph Herald had to do with Christmas.
Do you remember that advert on ITV when they stopped fighting amongst each other and they all...
Oh, that was beautiful when they had yes, they had the piece, Christmas 1914, wasn't it?
That's going to be the best one out of the lot.
Oh, that was beautiful, that is.
Fantastic one.
Yeah, I mean, and that features in the movie War Horse.
Yeah, it does,
yeah. Yeah, you've seen War Horse, haven't you?
I have, yes, Scotty. Brilliant film.
Jordan says, you're a natural with the weather, Scotty. Love how you can slip into any accent or tone of voice.
We can't lose tradition, we can't lose culture and tradition, Scotty, can we, to be honest?
Well, we mustn't. That's why we have the phone in, Glenn.
That's who we are, isn't it? That's what makes us who we are.
That's we are, absolutely.
Nice one, Scotty. But I think it's only keep your natural... well, what's the word? Just keep your natural thoughts and everything together, innit, really? And
it's good stuff.
Just keep true to yourself, really, and just live it as it is.
Professor Numpty Heed's asking, where does Rasheen in River City come from? I love her accent. I think it may be Aberdeen.
I mean, Scotty, you know, pronunciation, when you're writing things down, the way we say things, you don't write words down like how you say them, do you?
No, nothing. Well, the English language, when I'm teaching international students, I always say to them, don't think English is any better than your beautiful language. It's not. Yeah. It's just different. So you have words like to, and there.
Imagine, I've just been looking on the internet the way things are said, and it's like, wow, it's just complete gobbledygook, isn't it?
What about this one? There's Alice from the north of England. Scottie, you should write a book, she says. Isn't that lovely? More people speak Punjabi in Scotland than speak Gaelic.
Oh, do they?
Yes, apparently, according to Danny.
Brilliant.
Mind you, Danny doesn't always give us the facts. He was thinking Scotland couldn't go it alone.
That, like I said, when you're weighing out an opinion, though, you've got to look at it from. I've said it before to you. You've got to look at it from both perspectives, aren't you? Definitely.
Well, then it's not actually an opinion. It becomes a fact because you're starting to come out with the truth. What about this? There's Professor Numpty Heat. I used to buy The Sun because Scottie McClue used to write for them.
Brilliant.
There you are now.
It's all idiots will be on tomorrow, Scottie, won't they, probably?
Oh, probably Friday night. 9 o'clock tomorrow, by the way.
9 o'clock.
Yeah. Good night, Scottie and Dee, Suzanne and Jerry and Martin. Sleep well and sweet dreams, says Susan. Phil Doherty, Dinky-Doo, lovely Dee Gourley. Night, night, Susan. She's great.
You upload it straight to pretty much within hour, don't you, Scottie, as soon as you...
Yeah, it should be. You should be able to get this within the hour, absolutely. Sometimes you should be able to get it within minutes. We're very fast here, you know, with a turnaround.
You just need to get them subscribers up there.
We need them subscribers up. They should be at 3,000 by now.
Definitely, yeah.
I don't understand. How many have we got, Glenn?
I haven't actually got screen on that.
Right. We'll find out how many subscribers we've got on YouTube. Everybody needs to be subscribed. Everybody on YouTube should subscribe.
So you're looking at 3,000 then?
Well, I'd love to have 3,000, so we need to get that up. I think it's something like another 30.
Is that what it is?
You should get that, shouldn't you? Fantastic chat, says Stephen. I'll phone soon, Scottie. Pablo from sunny Salford. When it rains, it pours.
If you don't get that many, come on, you've got 24 people watching. There's more than that, though, isn't there, really?
Right. I can't hear a word you're saying, love. I'm losing you. Fantastic. That's our Glenn. I couldn't hear him. I don't know if he was talking off mic. Silent Night, says Pricey Pranks. Hark the Herald Angels sing. Sing Baker Street, Scottie says, as dazzed. There we are. You're live at Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Yeah, Scottie. I was just checking figures, Scottie. There's more than 24 subscribers in there.
Oh, is that what we've got to go?
Apparently 2.97k. 2.97k.
2.97. Well, that needs to be 3.00 by the end of tonight. So everybody listening, get to the Scottie McClue YouTube channel, subscribe and tap the bell.
Everybody who's watching it should be subscribing to it, shouldn't they?
Oh, definitely.
100%.
Yeah, or we shouldn't have them on at all.
No chance.
Hey, Dinky.
What they're doing, I think they're just flicking through and just thinking, we'll just watch it.
I never used the definition it gave for obfuscate was confusing.
Somebody's put, I love Glenn's voice. Accent is quite carving. Thank you.
Hey, there you go, Glenn. It sounds like you're in business law. I'll need to dash.
Nice
Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo, Scottie. Have a good one anyway.
God bless thee. Lovely loads.
And you. Love you.
Absolutely. Call time over. So there we are. Fantastic. Now, we've got, Elise says, I remember the days when you had 250,000 callers stroke listeners a week. Not a week, Elise. Every half hour. Yes. Yes. 250,000 per half hour. Quick call here. Who have we got here? Hello? Hello? There we are. Hello, you're live at Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, Scotland, it's Martin.
Martin, Dinky-Doo, I say. We're going to have to say ta-ta to the TikTokers. There we are. Wonderful.
How's your night been, buddy?
Oh, well, you heard it, Martin. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I am absolutely loved it tonight. The chats have been great.
The chat's been absolutely awesome, but we need to get through the calls a bit quicker, of course.
I know.
You know, and get everybody on. Sleep well, Martin and Emma, says Susan.
Lovely.
Isn't that fabulous? Now, listen, Martin, you take care of your dear self, and we'll catch up tomorrow.
Yes, I will, buddy.
And remember, tomorrow's 9 o'clock, Martin.
Yes, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock this Friday and Saturday, and that's the way it will be now forever and a day.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. Dinky-Doo, la.
Thank you. Love you, bye.
Love you lots. Night-night. There we are. That's our Martin. Guys, we're out of time. What a fantastic show tonight. I thank you. I thank you for your contributions. I thank you for your attention and your viewership. I thank the wonderful Alice there for remembering all that. Night, everybody. Dinky-Doo, and as we say in the best of circles, ta-ra, lads.